Doesn't test it 1 2 3 mic check. Doesn't test it 1 2 3 mic check. Doesn't test it 1 2 3 mic check. What's good? It's your boy E coming at you one more time with another with some more finance solutions. My bad, bro. It goes up too late. Trying to make sure that my stream gonna be ready to go in the morning, and as a result of that, I overslept. Wells Fargo fraud detection. Wonder what that is. Let me just check it and make sure that it's not glitchy and stuff. I just went ahead and rescaled it down to 720p. I shouldn't have to do that though, because I stream in, like, when I'm gaming, I'm streaming in HD. And it looks fine. I'm just I gotta scale it down to 720. I'm also trying to make sure that my information isn't on there. Go ahead and log that place. Doesn't look like even like much. Put that into place. All right. I mean, like, being that I overslept and all that, you feel me? Like, wasn't able to obviously catch any price action from earlier, but damn, that would have been a nice little washout right there. The rip. Look at that. What a rip to sell. And then V-shaped recovery, bro. I mean, that's perfect price action for trading intraday. Catch the rip from the top to the bottom of the range, like I've been talking about. Feel me? And then once you see it basing down here, but not rejecting, and notice, I believe is that the same level that I was talking about from the video, like the 56.75. So you know that level is significant. You feel me? So you could have caught the washout. You know what I mean? Sold the rip off the open. But see, that's what almost got me messed up in the other video. Uh, remember I sold that rip, but we bounced a little bit and went to the top before we washed back down. That's why I did that, because sometimes off the open, like, it never even puts in the top of a range. Like, it just washes out to the bottom off rip. And then, like, it's hard to catch that sometimes. But I mean, thesis is correct. And then sometimes you could have a correct thesis and plan, but you could just be like a day or two early. You know what I mean? So that's something that you have to be wary of as well. And I just want to check this, make sure things I mean acceptable. I don't want to be putting out no garbage. So that's something that you have to looks fine to me. Yeah. Just set the that's why I say you feel me? Don't get married to anything, any particular bias or you mean like stock or equity or feel me? Just remain neutral every day. That way you're able to catch, you know, any you're able to catch any opportunities that may prevent themselves. I mean not prevent, but any opportunities that present themselves. And if you look at this from like a higher time frame, it kind of looks like AMD's just been trading in this range here. Um, Basically from 56.25 to about 60. So we've been trading in this $4 range here for the last few days or so. I mean, depending on how long this range stays intact, I mean, a decent play would be just to wait for the price action to come down to the bottom of the range, make sure it's basing, and the level is going to hold up as decent support, and then just buy the dip, you feel me, and swing it up to the top of the range and then sell the rip. You know what I mean? Look, could have been doing that over and over. That's what I've been doing. And then, obviously sometimes it's going to deviate. So even if you had sold that rip at the top of a range somewhere, obviously your price target is going to be here. I mean, if you want to be a little more conservative, here. So yeah, that 56.75. That's that level from the other day. From like the videos I uploaded, like the series. But we know AMD's just been trading within this range here, range bound. See, bro, I'm telling you, my funds should be settled in IB by now. That's a whole process too, though, bro. Like switching over um, platforms, and then setting up DAS. You know what I mean, like setting up how you want uh, everything, like how you want your layout and everything. That's a whole process as well. See, look, so we're washed out to the bottom, came up to the top here. I mean, Looking like a possible rip to sell up here. See some red prints. Let's see exactly how far we are from the top of the range. All right, so right now we're at red to green. So this could be a decent level to sell the rip from. But we have cracked above it here and there, so got to be careful. Looking at this candle right here, but see that's a 30-minute candle. All right, so top of the range, right? Notice we like during this trading period, we were never able to get above that. Basically off the open and pre-market, we're above it, but then we just washed out. But you know, looking at this pattern right here, it's looking pretty bullish. Because look, we based, crossed over short term to 9, VWAP, continued up, broke above the 120. So at this point, we're above all of our indicators. And, you know, trying to break past this red to green line. I don't even have, this isn't even my normal setup. This was my stream bench setup. Let me go ahead and get my regular setup opened up. Make sure everything's good. All right. Block preview. Don't want to do the preview. All right. 10-minute chart. Go to a 5-minute chart. So look at today's price action. Look at that thing. We're at the top of this range here. So at this point, we're either gonna break above this and head keep up on the uptrend, but you don't I don't believe in too much bullish price action in a bearish market. So I would think I would think so this rip. But we need to see some proof of concept first. Because I mean the true top is up here. I mean that's the top of the range. Look, reject, broke above briefly, and now it's trying to figure out what it wants to do with its life right now. Again though, being that let me see. All right, we got minimal dropped frames. I think the stream's good. Being that I wasn't able to catch any price action off the open and like don't know what's going on. That's the only thing that's making me hesitant right now to jump in. And we're midday right now. I'm just getting my other charts set up. Like, my overall charts where I watch the market at. Looks like this rip is valid to sell. Looking at the SPY, the Qs, and Apple. It's looking like this rip is valid to sell. I mean, if I was gonna sell this rip, I'd grab the 131 put. Them things expensive, my God. Woo. 131 put on Meta with the expiration in 4 days on the 28th is it's 860. $8.60. So it'd be $860 because there's a hundred times multiplier when you're dealing with the derivative. But look, this is the SPY topping out. And I see the same action on the Qs and Apple. So that 131, I'm just getting paranoid that my personal information is wait, why does this keep coming off? Like this keeps moving, right? Maybe it's just different because the other thing was my test bench. Fuck. All right. It's looking valid to sell, but it's playing around up here at the top of the range. It could be just a healthy pullback. You feel me? Could be a healthy pullback. Like I don't, and the thing is, I don't know. I wasn't in the markets from early, so I don't have a good feel of the price action. But I see a wick on top. So that 131 put, the spread's wide on that thing. The spread's it's a 15-cent spread. It's a pretty wide spread. And there isn't a lot of open interest or volume on that particular strike either. So now the spread's closing. Now it's only 10 cents wide. All right, I'm gonna try it. Oh Lord. As soon as I grabbed that thing, I seen a little bounce come in. I mean, if we're being logical though, this is the top of the range. And I see the big boys, you feel me, topping out. I just got to be ready to stop out if I'm wrong. Trying to catch a bounce here. The SPY's bouncing off the 9. The Qs are trying to catch a bounce along with the SPY, but the Qs aren't at the 9 yet. And Meta is trying to break down the 9. I meant not Meta, Apple. So I mean, this is looking, it's looking like I'm right. You see that wick rejecting off the top? See where that wick rejected? That wick rejected. that wick rejected, then some bullishness came in. Looked like we are gonna go further to the upside with this bullish pattern here. Looking like it was a fake out though, because then right after that, look at this tank right here. Look at all that volume. 1.5 million shares traded. So that was a rug pull right there. Hope no one didn't get caught in that. Trying to buy these dips. And I mean, as of now, the trade's looking good. But uh the SPY, the Qs, the SPY and the Qs haven't totally broke down that 9 EMA in my short term yet. They look like they want to. And I'm seeing a lot of red prints. And then now some green prints came in. But I'm seeing I think a little bit more red than green. But I see the SPY and the Qs trying to catch a bounce off the 9 EMA. They were breaking down. The wick was more prominent on the top, but now it's trying to bounce up and make the wick more of a doja-like candle. So basically, that means that there's a battle between the bulls and the bears. And what I don't like right now is Apple is definitely catching a bounce. It was breaking down the 9. Now it's definitely catching a bounce off the 9. And I'll show you real quick. See, it broke down, got as far down here as like underneath the 9, and now it's trying to catch a bounce off the 9 and turning this bearish looking candle into a indecisive candle. But again, we're at the top of the range. So I just feel like it's more likely that we test the top of the range and head lower and then break out into new highs. But again, like I didn't see any price action. Overslept. So flying blind right now, basically. Apple is all right. What's kind of concerning is Apple, the next candle opened the next candle put in a higher high, a higher low. But it didn't really go anywhere. The next candle did put in a higher low, but it's the body is operating, within the range of the previous candle. So I forgot what you would call that. The opposite of an engulfing candle. You see this bullishness coming in here? Now the SPY and the Qs, have consistently put in a bearish pattern. Basically lower lows and lower highs. But you know how I feel about that. It could just be a healthy pullback. What's all this on my chart? Get rid of these. And this was what's concerning right now is Meta has broken above that chop. And now it's up here like closer to the true top of the range, like the high of day. Probably should zoom out and look at a higher time frame. And right now, the position is definitely, you feel me, going against me a little bit. All right, so Apple put in a higher low and it's bouncing off the 9, but the present candle has yet to break above the previous candle. The body is still operating inside the the total area of the previous candle. Body and wick. But what is concerning is the SPY and the Qs have now based. So the present candle is it basically opened like identical and on the same level as the previous candle, like it's basing. And now I see some bullishness coming in and making me kind of nervous. But again, the true top of the range is up here. I mean, like high of day is 132.19, so 132.20. And that is a significant level. I remember it from the other day. See those wicks signifying some topping action? Oh man, this is what I mean, bro. I keep getting bombarded. All right, let me put my phone on do not disturb. Look at this. Look at all this volume right here. But notice how big, how much more volume this is compared to the other ones. And it was a lot of volume, but it didn't rip, letting me know this is probably going to be selling volume. Again, just let me check my OBS to make sure my personal information is. Because I rushed to set this up. It's not set up right. I haven't put in any of my transitions or anything on my OBS on my streaming software. All I did was put in a starting screen. Starting screen, webcam screen, no webcam screen. Look, there's no transitions though. It just fades. Work on that later. Now, the SPY and the Qs are putting in a bearish pattern. But Apple doesn't know what it wants to do with this life. Look, it's kind of a bearish pattern because you're seeing this candle is the lower low and the lower high and very wicky, but there's a wick on the top and the bottom, so it's a doja candle. And then this candle put in a higher low, but it's wicky. But this wick is a little bit longer than the wick on the bottom, signifying there's more sellers than buyers. And this candle, I mean, it's looking kind of bearish now, but what we really need to see is Apple break down this 9 right here like it's doing right now. But if you look at the Qs, I mean, that's definitely bearish. Um, and it's looking like that's a little bit more than a healthy pullback. You know what I mean? Look, I'm also watching Meta up here trying to fight at the top of the range because I feel like Meta is it's oversold. So at any time, you feel me, solar exhaustion can come in the picture and Meta could just deviate away from the other large mega caps. You know what I noticed? Every time every time I start getting like text messages and notifications and get distracted, my position goes against me. And I mean, we were looking good for a second, bro. But like Meta's trying to bounce. And Apple is still like playing around. Like it hasn't figured out what it wants to do with its life yet. Look, see these wicks. Look at Meta, bro. Notice what I said. Every time I start getting a bunch of messages and shit, my position goes against me, bro. But like I'm getting to the point now where I'm gonna have to turn off my phone. Do not disturb isn't doing it. So this thing's definitely going against me. But let me zoom out. Let me zoom out to a higher time frame real quick. See a bunch of green prints coming across the tape on Meta, which does not bode well. God damn, look how bullish that thing is. All right, so we might be we've definitely put in a new high. So where's this next? Where's the next possible resistance at? I guess it would be right here. Look, this 132.69. See all that bouncing and chop and consolidation right there. Cracked it, went back up, respected it, cracked, but respected and bounced. I'm seeing a bunch of green prints on Meta. And this doesn't bode well. And again, this is why I don't like to jump in the markets when I don't have a feel for what's going on. That thing's looking bullish. All right, bro. Like, whoa, whoa there. We see bullishness coming in, but again, bro, look. Apple it doesn't know what it wants to do with its life. Look, yeah, we came down here and put in a bottom. We see that. And now we're up here putting in a top. But now, if I had to pick whether Apple's looking bearish or bullish right now, I'm gonna say it's looking bullish. Feel me? Even though we're seeing all this wicking and doja type candles, it's higher lows. And being that these wicks here are bouncing off the 9 EMA, makes it a little more bullish to me. I mean, if you ask me, but Apple hasn't, you know what I mean, hasn't got back up there towards its high of day yet. Could just be, you feel me? It could be a bull trap. Could be a bull trap. Because again, play the ranges. So and you guys can't even see that because I got my thing in the way. I'm gonna slide it over. So again, you feel me? It's a bullish pattern because of the higher lows, but also uncertainty because of the wicking on the top and the bottom. But higher lows, bullish, elevating factor. Bouncing off the 9 and the short term, bullish, elevating factor. Wicks on the top, rejecting off this 148.70 deprecating factor for the bulls. Being that this thing is trying to bounce and break past this 148.70 elevating factor for the bulls. But being that it's rejecting deprecating factor for the bulls, elevating factor for me. Again, I mean, like the positions has gone against me. Let me close out. Let me close out my preview on OBS. Might be using too much resources on my PC. Look at this. We're seeing increasing volume. Look, that tank right there. Look at that thing. Man, should have been in the markets earlier. Look, running up, trapping bulls. Got up here to this 132.08, 132. Just cracked. Back down to 129.25. So 132 to 129. That thing cracked down $3 off of 1.5 million shares of volume. And then we're putting in higher lows and putting in a bullish pattern. I want to see another crack. Not looking like it, dog. I have to stop out. Again, though, like Apple doesn't know what it wants to do with its life. Look. Look at all this. It's nothing but wicking up here, bro. And trading sideways. Like, but it's consolidating on that 9 EMA, though. That's dangerous. When you see price action not breaking down, but holding a level and consolidating and putting in higher lows, but wicks on the bottom, especially off that 9 EMA. You know what I mean? Like that's bullish. Seeing some red prints. It's trying to sell off. They keep buying it back up. Look at them wicks. Let me check my OBS and make sure my thing. Bro, this thing's looking bullish, dog. I feel like we're at the top of the range and I might want to go ahead and double down. Oh, you know what? I forgot that we were in lunchtime, bro. Damn. I forgot we were in lunchtime. We were midday. Oh, that's scary because if, if we're putting in this bullish pattern here at lunchtime when it's basically low volume, the big boys aren't back yet. Big boys might come in and buy the dip. I'm gonna watch this erratic as 1 minute so I can get a more detailed view of this price action. But the Qs and the SPY are putting in a bullish pattern. Look at this. Look, where's the volume here? 836 shares, and then all of a sudden we're putting in over 100,000 in 1 second. But I seen a bunch of red prints and I see some rejection. Look at all them red prints. See, we want to crank this 9. Crack the 9. Look at that. Look at that volume coming in. All right, they tried to buy the dip a little bit. See, but I'm seeing a lot of red prints. More volume than the previous candle. We're at 150,000. This one only had 140. This one only had 836 shares, bro. That must be a misprint. I mean, position still against me right now. But I ain't freaking out. I'm not freaking out yet. Because again, we're at the top of a range. The only thing that's a little concerning for me is look at Apple, bro. It still doesn't know what it wants to do with its life, but now it's getting back up here. I mean, this thing has been consistently putting in basically higher lows in a bullish pattern. Now for, 30 minutes. So right here is crucial. If Apple can break above this 148.70s, which it's doing right now, that's scary to me. And especially if it gets up here to this 140, is it 148.82? Can't really see it. The lights are too bright. I'm seeing a little weakness come in. And notice on the Qs, yeah, we're up at the top of the range, but we've now uh, basically tested the top twice. Well, it tested the top of the range, tried to catch a bounce off the 9 and go back up towards it, but it never even got back up there. Uh, when it tried to bounce again, instead of it bouncing up to the 277.94, it was only able to get to the 277.76. Now, what's crucial right now is that we see the Qs continue to reject this level and sell off and crack my short term and my 9 EMA. Then I'd be feeling a little better. But if you look at the SPY, I mean, the SPYs, did the same thing the Qs did, but it already cracked the 9. This is what I don't like about Active Trader Pro. Like, the only reason I started using it was because, like, Fidelity's like my main long term um portfolio account. I mean, positions, you know, going in my favor. Look at that. Look at that. And then volume dropped down, but now it's increased. It kind of stayed static around the same amount of volume, and then we had some increasing volume come in. Now it's trying to catch a bounce here. Notice the time. Right after lunchtime. Means the big boys are back. The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. But I mean, if you want to get a little cerebral and do some critical thinking and some deep analysis, what I would say what I would expect is, okay, we look like we're gonna wash out, right? We did wash out to the bottom of the range. Since then, it's been some straight bullish action. Look at this thing on the 10-minute chart. Look at this. That would have been a decent play. I would have caught that if I was trading, because I would have seen the washout to the bottom of the range, seen us base, and then once I seen this big bullish candle come in and cross above VWAP, I would have grabbed some calls to the upside, and I would have caught this whole thing right here. Because, you know, that's my style. I would have caught that, boy. Cracking through the VWAP, the 9, the short term, the 120, this major level I had from the other day, and going red to green. Then once I seen us top out right here with this wick, I would have got out. And I would have been done for the day. You know, again, I don't usually trade. I don't use, like, when I, aren't in the markets, seeing what's going on from the beginning, I usually don't trade. But uh being that, you know what I mean, I said that I was going to live stream and try to bring value. That's why I jumped in. Because I'm a man of integrity. So now what we want to see is this thing wash out to the bottom of the range. This is the 5-minute. Let me check my OBS to make sure my personal information isn't showing. I'm telling you, I was getting like attacked, like DOS attacked or freaking hack attacked, whatever you call that. That's why I had to reset my whole PC. This is the 2-minute. On the 2-minute, I mean, that thing is looking pretty bearish. But the roll test, I mean, we've already cracked this level right here where we rejected that, this level that was high of day at one point. So it's trying to bounce back up and reclaim it. But again, even if the price action is going in your direction, you don't want to see it go straight there. You want to see healthy pullbacks. So I'm hoping this little bounce right here is a healthy pullback in the overall direction down. Trying to look strong, but it's trying to reject. If this thing reclaims this level right here and then bases above it and makes it support, I'm in trouble. Because, I mean, this level, but really this level. Because, see, that's where that hard rejection came from. Right there. That hard rejection where we sold off with the 1.5 million shares straight down. So we need to get need to break. We first of all need to not reclaim this level, and then we need to get beneath this level. And that's not happening. But I'm watching the 2-minute. On the 5-minute, the big boys are rejecting off the short term in the 9 and look like they want to head lower. And we're talking about all three: the SPY, the Qs, and Apple. So it's the only reason why I'm not freaking out. That's some bullish price action. Came down here off this level here, significant level, the 131.80 80s, the 131.84. That level is significant for Meta. All right. And notice as we were putting in our bearish pattern, we were just consistently stepping down, putting in lower lows, lower highs, bearish pattern. We came down to that level and bounced. It acted as support. The next candle based on it, and then it bounced. Now that thing's looking like it has strength. And now the SPY, the Qs, and Apple they were showing off, but they caught a bounce here. And the wicks are on the bottom, which signifies there's more buyers. Basically just the wick with the tiny body. Look what I'm talking about. There's buyers down here. Because when it tried to sell off, they bought it up. But it's under that 9. Decreasing volume though. See the thing flashing from red to green? Letting you know that it's basically a battle between the Bulls and the Bears. Well, a battle between the Bulls and the Bears. While we were just downtrending and putting in a bearish pattern, kind of leans towards the bear side. And also we're under the 9 EMA. The Qs are trying to break past the 9 EMA. And rejecting off my short term, my 10. That's what all the big boys are doing right now. Now, the SPY and the Qs have put in a higher low. For two consecutive candles, they put in a higher low. But there's no volume though, it's weak. So the SPY is right up underneath the 9 trying to reject it off a low volume. Trying to bounce up. I see a baby wick on the bottom. Let me know there's buyers down there. Same thing with the Qs, but the Qs are, the Qs are on the 9. They're basing on the 9. The SPY is rejecting off the 9. Remember the other day, on my video the other day, I said it was weird because the Qs were basing on red to green, but the SPY was still selling off, letting me know that they could be trying to converge. And it looks like that happened. They've converged because now they're like, obviously correlated. They've always been correlated, but now they're like kind of moving in lockstep because at one point one was way like one was leading and one was following, but now they're both like doing the same thing around the same not levels but around the same indicators. So that lets you know that whatever I said was valid. Now notice, remember that key level that I was talking about, the 131.84 that I said we needed to get, we needed to break, we needed to crack that level so we can see some downside. Because look what happened last time we cracked that level. 1.5 million shares came in and we cracked straight to the downside. Not saying that's going to happen again, but if I had to bet, I would say yeah, you know, maybe a 60-40 chance, 70-30 chance. 70 being the crack. 70% chance we crack to the downside like last time. As long as we don't reclaim this level, this 131.80s. And it looks like we're heading down. So then the next hurdle, because you see where we bounced up and rejected off with these decent wicks. And then we rejected again. Then it became support. And then it tried to bounce off it again. And then around here it was topping out around it, rejecting. But then it caught a bounce off the 9, was able to get above it. So this is a level 2, a significant level. The key level. The 131.84 is a key level, and also but really the 131.50 is a key level. That I think that's more of a key level because it's a nice round number, 131.50. Feel me? Oh, if we give that back, which I know we're gonna have trouble doing. Damn, you seen all them red prints though? Notice when you see a bunch of red prints, you see the rejection. Seeing it rejected for a second and you seen that wick. That's why it's important uh to keep your eye on the level the tape and the level 2. Even if you don't understand exactly what you're looking at, because I mean it takes time to learn that, and like even still, like you can ask people that have been trading for years, and I mean like it's hard to explain it. The main thing, like if you're watching the tape, the main thing that you need to pay attention to is the color of the prints and the speed of the tape. And what it does when it gets to your key levels. I mean, that's the main takeaway. Check my OBS. All right, good. Let me make sure my stream ain't glitching and lagging. Testing 1 2 3 mic check. Oh, look good. All right, so the problem was I just had to uh like lower the scale, like rescale it down to 720p. But that don't make sense because when I'm gaming and I'm streaming, I stream in HD 1080p 60 frames on games that with high frame rates. So I don't understand why I wouldn't be able to watch a chart that doesn't have nearly as much like action going on the stream in HD. I don't know. Maybe the time and sales and all this is I guess that's a lot of frames. Want to really set my stream up right. All right, frames missed due to rendering lag 0. Skipped frames due to encoding lag 0. Dropped frames due to network 1,033 out of 250,000. Pretty decent. All right, so I remember what I was saying about the 131.50. It looks like we're trying to crack that level because now we're at 131.40s. They're trying to save it. They're trying to save it. See all these green prints? But at this point, cracked. Wait, 131.80s. Where did I get this 131.50 from? Oh, right here. So they're trying to. This was a decent rejection 2 times. Trying to save it, even back above the 131.80s. But just erratic. It's erratic 1 minute. The perils of watching the 1 minute chart. In positions moving in my favor. But, and first of all, we're on a 1 minute chart. There's no such thing as a trend line on a 1 minute chart. All right. Look, we've reclaimed that. Reclaimed that 131.80s. And we're trying to take back the 9. But look at the big boys. Is that a bearish pattern or what? I said if that's not a bearish pattern, I've never seen one. The boys are back in town. $400,000 shares, 460,000 shares. So we had increasing volume coming in. We want to see increasing volume continue. Doesn't look like it's going to. And whatever volume is coming in, it's buying volume, because look how this wick on the bottom was down there. They bought it up, trying to squeeze it up. But I feel like whoever's trying to buy it up and buy this dip right now, all it's doing is like squeezing a spring, putting in potential energy in a spring, because they're trying to buy it up and save it. But once they exhaust, there's going to be nothing holding it up. It's going to yank down. What the well, what, goddamn. Look at that. See? I gotta watch my positions, bro. Because every time I take my eyes off of my shit, for a second, like it goes against me, bro. Meta, see, I feel like right now Meta's doing its own thing, bro. Because I see the big boys selling off and tanking. So this move doesn't make any sense. Because I know damn well Meta ain't gonna drag up the market. And bro, look at this. That's bearish. That's a big boy right there. Feel me? Bye. So how Meta can bounce up like that is beyond me. As long as I see these big boys heading lower like that, I ain't sweating it. That's a bull trap, dog. That's a bull trap. Look, volume came in. Got some bulls to go ahead and buy this dip, thinking we're about to break out. Now we tank. Hopefully. Like, the only thing that concerns me right now is the SPY, the Qs, and Apple. We're steadily putting in a bearish trend, stepping down, putting in lower lows and lower highs consistently for you want to say overall about a half hour, 45 minutes. But now this next candle that just opened, there is some bounce trying to come in. But again, when the price action is going in your direction, you want to see healthy pullbacks. But notice how Meta ripped, but the big boys were still heading down. And again, that's like what I was talking about. Like one of the reasons why I like to trade it, because sometimes it leads, sometimes it lags. But regardless, I feel like Meta consistently gives you more range to trade off of, either to the upside or the downside. So we've seen a little bouncing coming in off the big boys, but look what Meta did. That thing ripped Seen those red prints? I do see some like some bullishness trying to come in the big boys, but it's weak bullishness. I'll go ahead and clear up my charts. So, like like this was the bullishness I was talking about. It was trying to bounce, but then it just rejected when it got closer to 9. That's why you see the wick on top. Look at this. Look at this thing. 434,000 shares traded in that nasty rejection, and like volumes increasing fast on this candle. They're trying to buy it up. That's why you see a wick on the bottom. See some green prints. That thing's pushing up. A lot of green prints. Now we got some red. I feel like uh you know what I mean? My best risk to reward would have been up here. But so it's dangerous. It's dangerous to try to sell the rip when we're making new highs. That doesn't make sense. Feel me? Like that's what you would call like trying to time the market on an intraday perspective. 'Cause, yeah, obviously the best trade. I mean, that's not the best risk or reward. Like that's just the best trade. But the risk is very high up here. What I meant to say. Tomorrow I'm gonna be on point though. I'm gonna be I'm gonna be up bright and early. Only reason why I like decided to start live streaming is because it was taking me so long to edit all that content. It was like I don't have anyone editing my content for me. I'm doing it all myself. And that's just, bro, it took so long and I still haven't edited it all. Like I got some good live trading content from Friday. All right, so you see Meta, it's giving back my key levels that I was talking about. So now what I would expect to see is another tank like before, like this one. But instead of us catching a bounce, I say we go all the way to the bottom of the range now, down here. There's a lot of hurdles though, because now that we've cracked those key levels the next major key level is going to be red to green. If and when we crack red to green, then the next major hurdles are going to be the 120 and VWAP. So you can also be like, if you sold this rip up here where I did, or even up here, or right here, like a better entry than me, like you could have sold this rip right here too. The next major hurdle is red to green. All right, now my position's moving with me. I'm in the green. Even though that first trade I took, it was looking like it was going against me. All right, move that 131.84. I can always find it again. Get rid of these lines. So next major hurdle. Look at this. 800,000 shares cracked right, sliced right through red to green previous close like a hot knife through butter. Now, if we crack this 120, look, volume still 1 million shares traded. A lot of shares, bro. And then the next candle opened beneath the previous candle. Right? We're trying to bounce off that 120. Again, that's why I love the 120, bro. The 120 is a good little indicator to have. The 120 and VWAP and the 9 EMA. You're going to use any indicators and from an intraday perspective, I mean, those make the most sense to me. All right, so now we're cracking the 120. My position is moving with me. Look, this is the only thing that's concerning right here. The SPY, everything's heading down, but Apple was heading down and it caught a bid, caught a bounce. So I would expect the others to follow along. Look, Apple caught a bid, it caught a bounce. But notice, wick on the top, and we're on the 9 EMA right now. Looks like we might reject off the 9. If Apple rejects off the 9, we can expect to see the same downward momentum, bearishness. Look at Meta on the 5-minute. Look, I called it. We cracked that level. We're going to do the same thing. Did I call it or what? Did I call it? Watch this thing on the freaking on the 5-minute, dog. Want to see us crack VWAP and the 120 on the 5-minute. That lets me know we're going down here to test the bottom here. Now, if we crack VWAP and the 120, we also have to be wary of this level. Right here. Because notice, off the open, came out and just rejected off that level. Went down here, tested the bottom of the range. Looks like Meta trying to bounce, by the way. I ain't sweating it though. Healthy pullbacks. Either the upside or the downside, don't matter. But look, came out, rejected. Found the bottom, bullishness to the upside. I would have definitely joined in on that. Look at that pattern right there. Cracking I'm seeing some bullishness right here. That thing's bouncing off the 120 perfectly. And now you see why I love the 120 so much. But boom, came up here. I don't think we rejected. I think the next candle, that candle just closed, and the next candle opened, but right on that level, the body. Yeah, it tried to like just have a healthy pullback. That's why you see the wick, but the body uh you know what I mean, opened right on that level. So that's why this next level right here is going to be so significant. That thing's just going down, dog. Look, on the 5 minute chart, 1.8 million shares traded. This next one already has 1.3 and counting. Told you, bro. Like, remember when I was saying, if you wanna think critically, and try to do some like some deep analysis, like some like deep analysis, almost to the point where you're over analyzing. What I was saying was, or what I was saying was, yeah, we washed out and then we're running up. That's in the top of the range, looking like we're about to head up into a bullish pattern. But it was lunchtime. The big boys weren't in yet. But if you want to think critically and do some deep analysis, some analysis bordering on over analyzing, you would think that when you see this bullish pattern, everyone's now bullish. But the big boys are on lunch break. When the big boys come in, they're gonna bear trap you. I meant they're gonna bull trap you. Feel me? I mean, from the looks of it, that's what happened. Trying to see a bounce come in, but I seen a bunch of red prints. Go zoom in and get a closer look. Because at this point, like look at this volume, bro. It's decreasing though. Look at that wick though. At this point, I can go ahead and close out the position for a decent green right now. I'm up 10% on my contracts. But look at that wick, bro. That lets me know there's more downside. The tape is moving fast, bro. It was. All right, hold up. Where did I say the next critical level was at? Right here. Right where we're bouncing at. See? Look. Off the open. Reject. Come up. Bullishness. New candle opened right on that level and headed up to the upside with decent volume. Right here. 2.8 million shares. So you know this level is significant. Key level. What you gotta do is look at the chart and look at the volume. Look at the price action. My contracts are up 10%. I can close them out right here because I'm starting to see some bouncing coming in. Look, Look at that. That's bullish. Let's see if we reject off the 9. Could be a healthy pullback on these cues right here. With the 10-minute. The 10-minute don't look so bearish. Bro, look, this is why I don't like the Active Trader Pro, bro. It's like their interface is a little dated. All right, I'm seeing bullish just coming in with increasing volume on the SPY. Look. Look. Wicking. Wicks on the bottom. Increasing volume to the upside. So let's see what level this is. 376.35. 376.60s. More like 377 flat. 377 key level on the SPY. Catching a decent bounce off that thing. And I'm only up 9%. But again, is it a healthy pullback or is it a reversal? A healthy pullback or a reversal? Because we're wicking off the bro, look at this. I caught that on Friday. I caught that move to the upside on Friday. Just haven't had time to process the content and upload it. Man, that ain't looking like a healthy pullback. It's looking terminal. Oh man. My contracts are only up 6% at this point. But decreasing volume. Let's see if we get up to VWAP and reject. Cause for concern. The SPY and the Qs have now put in a bullish pattern of higher lows, stepping up and over the 9 EMA. Apple, the same thing. All right, so just as I was expecting and quite frankly hoping for, we'd go up to this this VWAP and reject. Where's that key level at? All right, we got a key level here, 129.50. And then we got a key level here. $128.50s. But look, it's rejecting off that key level and also VWAP and the 120. So the road test will come here at this 128.50s. Apple's putting in a bullish pattern with higher lows consecutively stepping up. Previous candle put in a higher low relative. I meant present candle put in a higher low relative to the previous candle. And it's trying to grind up, but there's some nice little wicking action on the top, but also wicking action on the bottom. But for a second there, the wicking action on the top was more than the bottom, but now that has changed. That's basically even and trying to become some sort of doja candle, but with the thick body, the thick doja. And Doja Cat is pretty thick too. Bro, I like her music, bro. Ain't gonna lie, I don't really like new music, but I like her music. She makes good music. I would put on some music, but I don't want to catch it. I don't want to get any copyrights. So I'm just gonna put on some of my own beats. If I can find them. Remember, I had to do a reinstall. Grind or die. I made this for y'all. Cause you gotta grind or die, dog. And this beat's not even done yet. I didn't finish it yet. Contract's back up at 10%. They can't hit me with the copyright for my own beats. Hear those scratches? And that 808. I would put on my headphones so you don't hear like the background noise coming through the mic, but I ain't trying to do all that. Alright. Now my contracts are like back to only being up 8%. So I feel like I should get out. And I see some bullishness coming in. Look at that. 850,000 shares almost on this candle and counting. Look at this bullish pattern on Apple. Just consistently stepping up. But this thing's looking so weak right now. Look at that. I feel like it's just a healthy pullback. That's it. Right. Let me watch this real quick. I need to concentrate. Because I'm trying to figure out if I should just go ahead and lock in my gains or try to realize more to the downside. Freaking things looking bullish over here, dog. But what? Look, for that amount of volume, right? Wouldn't you expect to see more of a bounce? You feel me? That lets me know that either something's not right, and it could be some type of manipulation, or that's how much volume was needed to hold this thing up. It's one or the other. Because with that amount of volume, I would expect to see, especially if it's a green bar, I would expect to see a rip, bruh, to the upside. But that's not what we've seen. So that makes me think we got more room to the downside. But I'm not liking this because look, we're bouncing off the short term, trying to get back up there to the 9. If we reclaim the 9, that's going to give us more momentum to go ahead and reclaim VWAP. Because that 9 like, acts like a springboard, bruh. Either to the upside or the downside. Wherever the wick's touching at. See how the wick was touching on the bottom? Springboarding up. And Apple has consistently been stepping up here, man. So now I'm letting my freaking decent green trade wither away. But it looks like we're having trouble reclaiming VWAP, and I'm seeing a lot of red prints. I've seen consistent red prints now for like 10 seconds. And now some green came in. And you notice, you've seen all those red prints? And then look at that wick. Selling. Now back underneath the 9. So if we see some more red prints here, and we can get back under that 9, and then the next candle open below the 9, I'll feel a lot better. But if this next candle opens on or above the 9, It's not going to be looking good. See those green prints? There were a bunch of red and then some green in there. They're trying to save it. Before it's all said and done, though, and the bottoms actually get put in, I expect Meta to be way under 100, bro. So again, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Everyone's situation is unique to them. And but what I'm saying is, when it's all said and done and the bottoms finally get put in, I expect Meta to be way under 100. So, I mean, if you're one of those people that got in at a good price way back when, and you're still overall green on the long term, I'd be trying to lock in some profits, bro. To be honest. Not like you can't always get back in. That's just me personally, though. I'm trying to find a different beat. What's this? I really need to get back on my music, bro. You hear that 808 knocking? Here's the bass line. Knoxville was flat. Now it's flat, but it was going red. This thing's trying to bounce. It's trying to trounce all my gains. It's trying to make me feel some pain. I got a high threshold. Yeah, that's it. I think I need to go ahead and realize, watch my channel, because I'm the real guy. And I do it live. Don't get faked out by them dudes that be jive. They said buy the dip and they lied. Ooh, bars. But I think I need to go ahead and lock in. See, the longer this thing sits down here in bases, though, the more the more my risk goes up. Because look, volume coming in, bouncing off that key level to 377. And then look, Q's bouncing off key level here. What is it? I guess we're gonna say 376.50s. I meant 276.50s. I don't know. I always do that. What's his face does that too? My guy from Benzinga. So see, but the longer this thing sits down here in bases and consolidates, like the more risk, the more my risk to reward withers away. Because if it's down here consolidating, I feel like it's just like charging up, like getting all the sellers out the way, like washing out all the sellers. And then once all the sellers are out the way and washed out and the level 2 soaks up all the sellers, then there's nothing left but buyers. Feel me? And that's like exhaustion. Because if we're being honest there, look, 850,000 shares traded. And then the Qs, same thing, but lower shares, but we bounced up high off lower shares. So if the rest of the shares come in on this candle, we're gonna rip higher. And it looks like what's happening. So I'm gonna probably get out. But I got out down here for max gains. Now it's just going against me. I just want to see what's going to happen at this red to green. Oh man, the market's looking bullish, bro. The thing's stepping up. Decent. It's about to go red to green, bro. I just want to see if we're going to reject off this red to green line. It'd be nice for us to reject off the red to green line and maybe go back down and test the bottom of the range one more time before we eventually turn around and head upward. But if you notice, like, this is the bottom of the range down here, right? Like right here, 124, 125. The top of the range is up here, 133. So right now we're in the middle. But the last range that we touched was the top. So, I mean, I would think that we'd go back and touch the bottom first before we reverse. But I mean, it's not guaranteed. Because we're still under the 120. That's good. That lets me know on a slightly higher time frame, but not a very high time frame, but just a slightly high time frame, like higher than 1 or 2 days, that the trend is bearish still. But we're over the 9 VWAP and the short term. So that's bullish on a lower time frame, on an intraday. It's like hard to call it right here, bro. Like, because we're in the middle of the range right now. See? Bottom, top, middle. On the 5 minute, we're rejecting off we're rejecting off previous close and the short term and trying to reject off the 9. But it's fighting for that 9. If we get back above the 9 and base above it and open up a new candle above the 9, we're gonna go back up, and I guess that's the top. Look, bro, bunch of green prints breaking, going red to green. This is a key level. And notice that red to green line is like 130. Nice round number, bro. I mean, it doesn't get much rounder, and even in that 130 flat, and that's the red to green. So this level is a lot of people's price targets. So if anyone, you know what I mean, bought this dip, or maybe bought the dip like down here, this was their price target. It was red to green. And then if anyone sold the rip up at the top of the range, this was their price target. So it's kind of tricky right now, being that we're just like directly in the middle of the range. But you see these wicks? 1, 2, 3 wicks. Rejecting off that. Fighting. And Apple is freaking putting in, I mean, everything is putting in a straight bullish pattern consecutively right now. But it looks like the SPY and the Qs are trying to do like a healthy little pullback. But it looks like that's all it is a healthy little pullback. Not a reversal. Because especially on the Qs, there's a wick. The wick on the bottom is bigger than the wick on the top. And I freaking I've let this position now go all the way back against me. I was up 10% on my contracts, but I didn't get out down here. And that, again, that's something I need to work on. Need to work on just like freaking following my plan, bro. My my plan and my theses have been working perfectly. But then when they get to my price target, like what gets me is because my plan has worked so good, I feel like it can keep working. And that's where I'm having issues at. I'm not I'm not cashing out at max gain, bro, because I'm getting to my price target, and then I'm giving it more time to see if it could work more, and that always comes back and bites me. Oh, that's really something I need to work on. And like I said, bro, it's like there's never gonna be a time where you're like, all right, I got it. Like, I don't need to learn no more. Like, I'm gonna be green from here on out. It doesn't work that way. You have to continuously build on your skills because market conditions are always changing. And because they're always changing, whatever strategy or you know strategy or method that's worked for you in the past and worked good, isn't gonna work forever. So that's why it's always a continuous process of building up your skills and building up your screen time. And this thing's going again. It's like the position's still green, but and this is another problem I have. Since I didn't get out at my price target and try to give it more time and more room to run more in my favor instead of getting out at my price target, I didn't do that. And then once I see that now the position is no longer going in my favor, what I end up doing is now holding out hope that since my original plan was correct, that we'll eventually get back there. But that doesn't always happen. And what'll happen is I'll turn a decent green trade and watch a decent green gain go from less green and less of a gain and less of a gain because I'm looking at it like my plan was correct. So therefore it's still correct. I just have to wait for the price action to get back there. So then this time I'll go ahead and lock in my gains for max gain at my original price target. But, you know, the majority of the time it never quite gets back down there. And I either take way less of a gain or turn a green trade into a red trade. And again, Like because of market conditions and the way the market's just been indecisive, not picking a direction and just so choppy, you know, because of that, I'm not sizing up to full size anyways, because to be honest, in these market conditions, you need to be in capital preservation mode. So that's why I'm not trading at full size, period. And I think because of that, I am I am doing what I just said. Like when my price target is hit, I'm giving it more time to work. But if I was at full size, like I would have cashed out because then we're talking about thousands of dollars at full size. You feel me? So because I'm not at full size, I'm giving it more time to work because like the gains and or losses aren't as big as they would otherwise be if I was at full size. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. Like for instance, when I sold this rip, if I was at full size, I would have been up like 5 grand, and I would have definitely realized 5 grand. Feel me? Because I'm not at full size, um, I'm giving it more time to work because a few $100, you know what I mean? Several $100s to $1 grand, like I feel like that's not, you know what I mean? It's not enough. But again, I'm scared, bro. Like I'm in capital preservation mode. Market's too volatile. All right, let's see if we're gonna respect this trend. I mean, this is a 2 minute chart. Go to the 5 minute. Hey, bro, Active Trader Pro. I think my fund should be settled by now, but no, it's gonna take time to freaking set Daz back up. But if Fidelity knows what's good for him, better stop with all the sus activity because now this shit's documented and out there. They did some sus ash. But like I'll show you. Like I got it recorded. I just haven't had time to edit the content yet. Because I have to go in and edit it and like take out like all the dead, you know what I mean? Like all the dead time. Oh Lord, what happened? Where was that? Where was that level at? 129.50s. See, this is why I don't like Active Trader Pro, bro. I mean, that's the trend. You feel me? Like, yeah, it deviated from it for a second, but ultimately, what's that? 132.30s, 28. I'm gonna say 132.50. Did you see all the wicks? The wicks touching right here, right here, right here, right here. Again, some people think wicks are tricks, but bro, there's a lot of valuable information in wicks. My guy from Benzinga says wicks are tricks. Uh, Money Mitch, he says wicks are tricks. I think he's wrong on that. Because HT, Humboldt Trader, lives by the wicks. And that's who I learned most of my price action from. Shout out to I mean, HT and that whole community there. Really trying to learn how to trade, like on an intraday time frame and day trade. Her her channel and especially her community is a must. And I'm sure